I hurry up and accepted it because I'm like, you have to go. You got to get the fuck up out my inventory, okay? Back to my channel, Viaglo. If you are new here, my name is Gloria and I'm a full-time reseller on multiple different apps, and I resell clothes and shit. So in today's video, I actually want to go over some sales for the month of March. I know I might be a little bit late, but you know what? Better late than never, okay? So last month I made 107 sales. I made a total of 73 sales on Poshmark, 15 on eBay, 10 on Depop, and 9 on Mercari. It's kind of crazy to think about it like that because I actually just dropped Depop when I really should have dropped Mercari. So, all right, y'all. So it is like thunderstorming outside. So if y'all hear it, just mind your business, okay? So I'm actually going to be covering 3 different categories for my sales for the month of March. One is going to be my worst sales, one is going to be my favorite sales, and then one is going to be my fastest sales. So, all right, so first we're going to dive into my fastest sales for the month of March. So all of these items sold within 24 hours. The first thing to sell were these Everlane pants. Now, I completely forgot the name of them, but they sold within like 35 minutes. She sent me an offer of $30. I countered at 35 because I had them listed at 40. She quickly accepted the 35 and I was really happy because initially I was a bit nervous because they were like a size 0 or like a 2, I want to say. So I was like, I know these are going to sit a while. So these are a pair of Holding Horses 70s inspired flared wide leg jeans, and I have really bad luck with Holding Horses, but for some reason these jeans spoke to me and I was just like, I have to get them. And they sold within, I want to say, about 45 minutes of me listing it. They sent me a offer for like $30. I countered at 38 because I had them listed at 45 and she accepted it. So I was just like, we love that. Okay, so you guys may have already saw these when I did a ship with me video. If you guys want to check that video out, I have it linked down below. But these are just some pleaser heels. My girl over at Murray Life, Alicia, she was the one that spoke about these shoes, and she said to make sure you pick them up when you see them because they do go for a lot. Now, I want y'all to understand, when I listed these got a little bit of attention for like the first, I want to say, a good hour and a half on Mercari as well as Poshmark. And one lady, she sent me like a super low ball offer, and of course I countered. She didn't do anything with it. And then another person sent me a reasonable offer. I accepted it, but I would definitely pick these up again because they got a lot of attention and they sold pretty quick. So I love that. The next thing was this pair of Lululemon shorts. I don't know the name of them. I sourced these and they actually sold, I want to say, that following day. And I was pretty happy about that. Lululemon is just one of those brands that I know a lot of people like kind of down talk a little bit, but I like to pick it up because not only does it bring attention to my store or my closet or my shop, whatever you want to call it, it sells. Like, it sells. And yeah, $34 I still think was a reasonable amount. The next thing was this pair of cool pants. Now, I saw these and these look very like older style cool pants, and I just love the color. I wish I could show you the back of it, but it had like a really pretty flower on like the back pocket, and these sold within like 3 or 4 hours of me listing it, and I was just like, thank you. The next thing were these Prada linen pants. Now, when I sourced these, I originally thought these were women, so I was like, oh, these are gonna sell really well because linen pants for women, top tier. But once I started doing my digging and my research, I found out that they were men's pants, and I was like, oh, okay, so this might take a while because, you know, I don't know if men are wearing linen shit, but I was very surprised. These actually sold the same day. I want to say about 4 or 5 hours later because y'all know I list earlier in the day. These sold later that night, and I would 100% pick them up again, like 100%. All right, so the next thing is these Kabi jeans. Now, these sold within 15 minutes of me listing them. This was also a smaller size, so I knew that these were going to sit a while because all of my smaller sizes typically take a while to sell, but I was pleasantly surprised. I had these listed at 40. You guys are going to see a trend here. I like to list at 40 because I like to have my VA send out 10% offers. But I think she put hers at like $25, and I countered at 30 because that was the lowest that I was willing to go, and she accepted it. So, you know, we love a really quick flip. All right, so the next thing to sell was this Lulu's dress. I actually had this one listed at $36. I like to try to list my Lulu's between $32 to $36 because my lowest is going to be about $28 for it, and I like to make sure that I have that little bit of wiggle room. So I listed it at $36, and they countered like $20, I want to say, or $25, and then I countered at $32. They countered at $28, and we met right there because that was my lowest for this item, and I was completely happy because it sold the exact same day. The next thing was a favorite as well as a fast flip, and it was this Johnny Was dress. I listed it for $140. I received a offer on Mercari for like, I'll buy it right now at $100. I was like, no, my lowest is going to be $120. So then a person on Poshmark, they had sent me a offer of, I want to say $100 as well. I countered at $125 and they accepted it because I knew that I wanted a $100 bill for this item, net profit. So yeah. All right, so the next thing were these Eileen Fisher like crepe wide leg pants. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I've sold maybe about 4 to 5 Eileen Fisher like crepe pants, and the prices have ranged all over, you know, from 18 to 28 to 25 to 32, and this one was the highest one at 45. And the only reason why I listed it so high was because they were cropped and they were like wide leg. The other ones were all straight leg, and I think one was a wide leg, but anyways, this one sold literally the exact same day of listing it, and I was just like, won't he do it? So we love that. I would highly recommend picking up this style again. All right, so the next thing to sell that was really quick were these Zaya black metallic light and tight high rise leggings. So y'all, I have been picking up Zaya every time I see it, and I always be able to sell it between $35 to $50. But after I did like a little bit of research, I noticed that these specific ones were going for, you know, top tier amount. So I was like, yes. So I've listed them at $60. It got a lot of attention. That's 8 likes within hours of listing it, and it also got attention on Poshmark as well. So I was surprised when an offer came in for $51. I was like, hell yeah, it's yours. So yeah, 100% would pick that up again. And then the last thing from my fastest flips was this pair of Athleta high-rise Rainier print teal blue tights. Now, I actually sold these prior to this sale, and I think I talked about it in one of my vlogs. If I can find out which one, I'll link it down below. But I was really annoyed because the original person, they got it, they said that it was flawed, and it was not. So they sent it back, so I relisted it like really quick, and it sold the exact same day. I want to say within like 3 or 4 hours. All right, so now we're going to move on to my worst sales for March. Now, all of these are items that are lower tier items. These are items that I sourced way back in the summer, okay? And they just now sold. So these are not really good pickups. These are bad buys, and they didn't sell for much. So let's just get into it. All right, so the first thing is actually from my boyfriend's coworker. She gave me a bag full of clothes that she wanted me to sell for free, so I was happy because, you know, a profit is a profit. But I have really graduated from selling Victoria's Secret pink. It's just not my gig anymore. If I pick it up at the bins, possibly, but I would never pick up Victoria's Secret because this is the price point you get. Like, yes, you do get people coming to your closet, your shop, your store, but who really wants to take photographs and measure and list and do all of that for like a $12 gross profit and then like $8-9 for, you know, whatever. This is a Hello Molly dress. Now, I did a video, I believe I was talking about cringy things that I've done. This was the dress that I was talking about. I'll link that video down below if you guys have not checked it out. But this is the item that I talked about where I should have took her offer because it took almost a year for this to sell. Almost a year, y'all. This one is a Tommy Hilfiger sweater. Honestly, Tommy Hilfiger is just not that girl. And I don't know why I picked it up. Like every Tommy Hilfiger item that I have sourced, and it's only been about a good 4 items, and I know each and every one of them because they all sold for $12 or less. Tommy Hilfiger is just not that girl anymore, and you could see that here. The next one is this Anthro cloth and stone blouse. Now when I first sourced this, y'all, I was excited. I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna make some money. Wouldn't pick it up again. I feel like cloth and stone is just not a hit for me. I know for some it works, but for me it doesn't. Like every cloth and stone piece I've ever purchased, they've all sold for like $18 or under. So yeah, no thanks. The next one is this Cobby jacket. I sourced this almost 11 months ago actually, because I remember this was in a haul in May. And yeah, I just knew that it was gonna do what it had to do, but no. And it only sold for $18. I received an offer on it and I hurry up and accepted it because I'm like, you have to go. You got to get the fuck up out my inventory, okay? So we let her go. These are some shoes that I picked up strictly off of Style. This was also something that I sourced last spring. It is a Pure Jill linen blouse. I thought this was gonna do good because it was linen, and you know what I'm saying? No ma'am. I relisted this a good 6-7 times, like, and it finally sold. So these are just some Levi shorts. I actually had these, I want to say since November or December, whenever I went to the Bands for the first time. I actually found these there. So I didn't pay much for them, but I don't know. I just feel like Levi shorts are like a hit or miss. And these definitely were a fucking miss, because I really be wanting like $32 for Levi's cutoffs, but these did do it. All right, so the next thing is this Victoria's Secret like cami. This is around the time where I was really heavy on Depop, and the girls was going crazy for Victoria's Secret slip dresses. So I saw this and I was like, oh, this is a really cute slip dress. Whole time this is a fucking cami. And you know, I relisted this so many times and it just didn't do what it needed to do. So it sold for $10 and I was happy to see it go. Somebody sent me an offer for $10. I think I had it like $18. I was like, girl, yes, you can have this shit. So yeah, it's finally gone. So these laser jeans really disappointed me, mainly because these are vintage and the style is really cute. It's like a wide leg. It has like the raw hem seams and it just looked really nice. Now, the issue is that I actually had these on Depop and they got so much attention over there, so much, a lot of likes. And usually with Depop, how it works is that their algorithm anyways, when a lot of people like your items, it kind of bumps it on the in the algorithm and just kind of have more eyes on it, which is great. And like an idiot, I deleted that post and, you know, made another one, and this one didn't get any attention, like at all. All right, so the next thing is this Athleta blouse. All right, so the next thing is this Anthropologie Cupcakes and Cashmere Cheetah Print cardigan. Somebody sold this on Poshmark for like $40. And I really thought that that's what I was gonna get for this. And I was really excited when I found it at the thrift store. And this thing sat almost over a year, y'all, almost a fucking year. And it finally sold. I really thought this was gonna do well. When I talk about my sell-through rate with skirts, and I think I said that my sell-through rate with skirts is like at a 96%, this is the 4%. This is the 4%. All of the skirts that I've ever sourced since I've been a reseller have sold, except this one. I mean, it finally sold, but I've had this since last spring. Like last spring I had this item, and yeah, it finally sold. All right, so now we're gonna move on to my favorite sales for the month of March. All right, the first thing is actually this Y2K Victoria's Secret baby doll eyelet lace slip dress. Now, I was on a hunt to look for a match just so I know what to like call this one, because it looked like it had to have a specific name. Somebody had this shit on Mercari listed for $140 and they said that it was rare. Mind you, that was the only one that I found on the whole internet. So I was just like, ooh, interesting, rare. So I put mine at $80 because I'm just kind of like, you know, what could really happen? You know what I'm saying? I might get lucky. Somebody might actually buy it for $80. And I'm like, this nut over here listed theirs for $140. So, and it actually sold for $46.50 for this slip dress. So yeah, so this one sold for $46.50. All right, so the next thing is actually this LaFleur, the Rowan flat snakeskin black ivory shoes. This was my first time picking up this brand. I didn't know that it was like a nice little prestigious brand, if you will. So I was happy to pick it up. They were pretty flawed, but I was ecstatic to get a $71 return on them because I'm like, interesting. So now I know to pick it up. So that was definitely one of my favorite sales. All right, so the next thing is this Tommy Bahama maxi dress. I got so lucky finding this with new with tags. I love picking up Tommy Bahama. I think that Tommy Bahama is kind of like Lily Pulitzer, or maybe it's not. They just have their own little cult-like following, and I tapped into that last summer when I started finding a whole bunch of Tommy Bahama dresses. And I find that the larger size sells the quickest. They sent me an offer. I think I had it like $85. They sent $73. I'm like, yeah, no problem. Like, it's all yours. The next one was this pair of Madewell slim wide leg jeans. I believe this is the first pair of Madewell jeans that I got over $50 for. So now when I source them and they are like a good style like this one, I like to price them higher versus me just pricing them at like $35. So I finally got to the point where I know what Madewell jeans are going to do better. All right, so the next thing, this one hurt and it kind of didn't, but it is what it is. This is a St. John's collection wool silk blazer. Actually got this for like $4 at a thrift store. They clearly didn't know the brand, which was great. But I really wanted to get like a good $150 for it because, you know, St. John sells pretty well. Not all, but most. So I was desperate for sales. So when I received this super fucking lowball offer, I just accepted it because I'm like, $60 is better than no dollars. So I went on and took that L. The next thing was this Columbia puffer jacket. I'm gonna be completely honest. I don't enjoy picking up Columbia because it doesn't sell for a lot, like at all. But I specifically vetted this item down to a T because I'm like, okay, I know I can get at least $40 to $50 for this because it was like a titanium one. It was like insulated and all of this shit. So I'm like, I know I could get a decent amount. And it was like new condition. Somebody sent me a $40 offer and I graciously accepted it because I'm like, that's not a bad sale. All right, the next one is this Birdie gray dress. Now, I heard nothing about this brand before. I actually just saw it at the thrift store. The tag looked decent. Did a quick little comp and saw that it sells for $100. And I'm like, okay, I probably can get $50 for it because it was an excellent, like new condition. And yeah, it got a little bit of attention on eBay. I got some messages, some watchers and all of that, but they never committed. This person sent me a $40 offer and I accepted it because it's like, why the fuck not? So the last thing on my favorites list is this Victoria's Secret slip dress. I feel the exact same sentiments as I said with the other slip dress. This is a Victoria's Secret one. I do want to say that you want to be specific when you do pick up slip dresses because I've learned my lesson because I've been picking up slip dresses for the beginning of time. So real quick, if you got time, this particular one is a gold label, which this is from the 80s. Now this one is of course rare because it's from the fucking 80s. Now of course it always boils down to the style. That is the most important, but the label is also important because this is not made anymore type shit, you know. So this one you can definitely get like a really good amount for, but when it is silk does also play a role in it because satin is great, don't get me wrong, polyester, whatever, but silk is going to get you where you need to go. If you can get a vintage 80s or a vintage 90s piece and it's silk, bump the price up. All right, so that is it for my favorite sales. Let me know down below how your sales were for March because mine were not terrible, but they weren't like great, if that makes any sense. They were much better than February, don't get me wrong, but they weren't the best. But yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching this video. Please enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.